It was a serpentine belt, but I'm all fixed up. The mechanic came out and brought the part with him, and managed to slap the thing on in like 30 minutes. And then I was back on the road. $300, which was pretty reasonable considering the other mechanics were starting at $400. That guy with the part, the labor, and his drive out to me charged me $300. He was attentive. He answered the phone, and like, I don't know. I was obviously pretty stressed out because I'm on the side of the road in a giant RV and didn't know what the hell to do. But he showed up and got me all squared away. So, like I said, I told you I'd do a live stream later tonight. It's now 9:30. I just got to this truck stop. This truck stop's really, like, it's pretty busy. Thankfully, I got a spot to park. But I'm gonna, I think, stay here tomorrow, too. Because the day after that is when my good Sam, roadside assistance kicks in. Excuse me. And I can get farther down the road without having to worry about any of this. I'll have roadside assistance. If I need a tow, I'll be able to get a tow. So, I gotta be honest with you though, that was scary. Like, being broke down on the side of the interstate sucked. I didn't know what to do. I should have been a mechanic. I didn't realize I would need to be a mechanic so often. But here I am. I haven't eaten today. It's 9:30. So I got me a Pilot pizza. They're not great pizzas, but they're not awful either. And I made it. The RV is running just fine. He slapped that belt on, and I didn't lose as much coolant as I thought. I bought a jug of coolant. Didn't even need to, really. So that's good. But a big shout out to Sharon. Big shout out to Daniel. You guys, with your donations, were able to get me back on the road within just a couple of hours of breaking down. When I was like already reserved, basically. I already basically submitted to being on the side of the road for 2 days waiting for my roadside assistance to kick in. And didn't have to do that, thankfully, because of you guys. So I'm so fucking grateful. I'm so grateful that me and Zag and Buddy are not stuck on the side of the road, side of the interstate. That was not a good spot to be broke down. Man, that was scary too, driving along and I'm just cruising, man. Beep, 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 cruising along. And then all of a sudden, my steering got real stiff. And I've driven vehicles that didn't have power steering before, but this thing got super stiff, more stiff than any other vehicle I've driven. I'm like, oh shit. And then all these lights came on the dash, battery light, low coolant light. My temperature gauge went all the way up because the fan turned off. And I'm like, oh, and I pulled over and stopped and just shut it off and what do I do? And started calling some friends and whoa, what do I do? Anyways, eventually called Dave, and Dave was like, did you lose a belt? And I'm like, I don't know. And I pulled up the bed and checked out the engine compartment and looked, and I was like, yep, that's exactly what fucking happened. I lost the belt. So if that ever happens again, I'll know what to do. Zach, go lay down. Zach's trying to beg for pizza because she's as fat as me. But man, that was pretty scary. Hey, if you guys are here, don't forget to smash the like button. I know there's only 3 people in here. No one's really talking yet, so hit the like button while I eat this pizza. I got the meat lovers. I promised you I'd give you an update tonight on the RV. So that's it. I got it all fixed up. I'm gonna grab my other phone because I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to the mechanic. Now, he just, this mobile mechanic that I found just started his business. And I think that it would be really, really cool if all of you guys went and gave him 5 stars on behalf of Zig or whatever you want to do. Because he was a rock star, dude. He came out, he slapped that shit on there in like 30 minutes. He also showed me how, so I think I'd be able to do it next time. Which that was, showing me how was worth every freaking penny of what I paid, which he charged me, well, it was $130 less than anyone else had quoted me. And everyone else was $400 an hour, and that included the drive. So just to show up would have been $400 plus, you know, it would have been like $6 or $7. But he did it for $270, and let me find him real quick. And I gave him a $30 tip, basically, for coming out and being so freaking helpful. Field Mobile Mechanic. Let me see. Here it is. It's Fields Mobile Mechanic in Pocatello, Idaho. I'll show you right here. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Probably not. That sucks. Anyways, I'm gonna do a video about it, and I'm gonna pop his information in there. But if you guys go to Fields Mobile Mechanic in Pocatello, Idaho, go give him 5 stars. Like I said, he just got his business off the ground. It's like 2 months old. He's only got 3 reviews on there, and one of them is his neighbor. His neighbor gave him a 1-star review because she didn't like the noise. So he's already got 3 stars basically, and that sucks for him because he was an awesome dude. You know, he came out, he fucking slapped that thing on in like 30 minutes, and he showed up with the part. He was really attentive, answered all my questions, asked me to ask to make sure it happened. And I couldn't be happier with his work. I couldn't be happier with his customer service. This dude deserves to have his business take off. So anybody who wants to go give him a 5-star review, that would be, on my behalf, that would be so cool. When the video comes out, I'm also going to drop his Cash App if anyone wants to, like, I doubt you guys will, but if you do want to go give him like a $10, $5, $10, $15 tip on behalf of Zig, you know, that would be pretty sweet too. Man, by the way, vintage right on. Shanky says that actually looks delicious. You know what? It is pretty good. I had one of these at the last truck stop I was at this morning for breakfast, so I'm a little bummed that it's not something else. I just didn't feel like cooking, dude. It's 9:30. I haven't eaten anything except for a slice of this in the morning, and I'm starving. And it was a hell of a day. Totally stressful day. But we got back on the road. That's nomading, dude. Sometimes that happens. But could have been way worse. Could have been way worse. You know, I could have wrecked, or I could have blown the engine since it got so hot, or whatever. But the more I think about it, yeah, I did lose that cap. I don't think that's what the problem was. This morning, when I fired up the RV, I could hear something back there squeaking. And it was like, with the engine, when I turned it on, you'd hear it squeaking. And I was like, what the hell is that squeaking? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think that squeaking was the belt. And I think that the belt was just bad. It went from, you know, the heat in the summers in California, and then up into the cold in Montana. I think it was just It had been sitting for a year. The mechanic said it probably dry rotted from sitting for a year. So, I was only made it like 4 hours down the road before that happened. So, I'll take responsibility for losing the cap, but I'm not out any coolant. It was still full. There was still plenty of coolant in there. So that I thought was the issue, but I don't think it was the issue. But again, I ain't no mechanic. Since we're on the topic of pizza, let me ask you guys, which one of you psychopaths puts a pineapple on your pizza? Because I'm gonna block you. I don't mind pineapple on my pizza as long as the pizza's cold. I'm a bit of a picky eater, and one of the things I'm picky about is I don't like hot plants. Make that make sense. Unless it's like, okay, potatoes. I'm not gonna eat a potato raw. Or corn. I'm not gonna like crunch down on a raw corn. But I do like cold veggies. I just don't like my vegetables and fruits cooked. I will eat pineapple on pizza if it's out of the fridge. I won't eat it if it's hot. It's just psychological, probably. I don't like it at all. But I made it to this truck stop. I met a pilot somewhere in Idaho. And I think I'm going to stay here tomorrow and wake up the day after that and hit the road, because that's when my good Sam kicks in. My roadside assistance will kick in. And I'll be able to like drive with a little less stress, if you know what I mean. So but I'm hungry. I don't usually eat on the live streams with you guys, but I haven't eaten today. Take that back. I had one slice of this pizza yesterday. I'm sorry, this morning. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. I wish I had some weed to smoke. That'd be the best thing. But I should get into Oregon by tomorrow. I'm hoping. Vintage says pineapple on white pizza. White pizza. I do like white pizza, actually. Almost prefer it. And white Gatorade. I'm honestly like exhausted from today. Been driving all day, and then the 3 hours on the side of the interstate, and basically a panic attack. Hurry up to Oregon? Is that what you're saying? Oh man. But yeah. Big fucking shout out to Sharon. She's either driving right now or sleeping, but big shout out to her, and a big shout out to Daniel for the donations y'all sent. Because that covered the mechanic. The mechanic was $270, and I gave him a $30 tip to just round it up to $300. He deserved every penny of that. And I've got it, some of his work on video. I was able to record some of them while we were underneath the RV. So I am going to be posting his business on the video. I'll be posting Cashapp just in case anyone's feeling like, generous and wants to give him a tip, or at the very least 5 stars for his business. because, like I said, he only has 3 reviews, and they're all 5 stars, except for his neighbor left him a 1 star, which sucks because that dropped him down to 3 stars from 5 to 3 because of his neighbor 1 starred him, and I don't know, that sucks. The dude just started his business 2 months ago, and already has only 3 stars. So you know that I'm bummed for him. The guy was really nice, good mechanic, really personable. Like I said, showed up with a part, slapped it on there in like 30 minutes, and made this stressful situation like just such a relief to fire up the RV, and had power steering again, and oh man, it was such a win, dude. I'm gonna post his information in the chat, his business information. Let's see if I can do that. Copy link. Let's see. Let me show you here, in case anyone wants to give him a 5-star review. Let's see if that link works. Yeah, there it is. If anyone wants to go pop over, give him a 5-star review on my behalf, that would be, I'd appreciate it. I know he would, but I definitely would. I already sent him another $30 and was like, go have a beer on me, dude. Like, I appreciate you showing up and making that, like, so much less stressful. After this pizza and this live stream, I'm gonna go get me a truck stop shower, because I sweated in basically a panic all fucking afternoon. I do have to be honest. For gas station pizza, this isn't terrible. Although, I think the slice was under the light for a little while. But I ain't mad. I ain't mad about it at all. Go smash that like button, by the way. A couple of you haven't. Oh, wow. What a day. What did you guys do today? Belt slapped on there. And I think I made it another like 2 hours down the road. Not even 2 hours. It was like maybe an hour and a half. It would have been a lot less, but the first truck stop I went to didn't have any space for me. So I had to go to the next one, which was 30 more minutes down the road, which is where I'm at now. And man, am I glad to not be driving anymore. What a stressful day. Yeah, like I said, that was really scary having the power steering go out on this thing like that. Because, I mean, I've driven, like I said, I've driven some vehicles that didn't have power steering, but man, this one was like, it was like stiff. There was no way I was driving it into town without power steering. I would have had to like make a turn with the engine overheating and stuff. Like, no, it would have been a bad deal. Plus it was running on battery power because the alternator wasn't spinning, the generator wasn't spinning, which I think this thing has a generator, not an alternator. Either way, it was all bad, and now it's all good. Got it fixed up. Totally relieved. Eating pizza. I got the dogs. Pretty sure Buddy just peed on the floor while I was getting this pizza, because he's old. Might need diapers, puppy diapers. He's an old boy. Huh. He's an old boy. He's shaming himself because of it. wish I had some weed. The worst part is, when I get to Oregon, I'm still not going to have any weed. And I won't be able to get any because my ID is expired. It's one of the reasons I have to go back to Oregon is to renew my driver's license. And it's expired, so yeah. It is what it is. This hopefully, like, it helps me sleep. So maybe they got some like sleep meds in here somewhere, like some over-the-counter Tylenol PM or something. Although I'm crashing off the adrenaline from breaking down, so I might sleep just fine. It's like, what time is it? Like 10 o'clock at night here. And it's still light out. Like, it's still light outside. I mean, not light, it's dusk. That's crazy. At 10? Weird. I mean, not that weird. It's summertime, I know, but we just had the solstice. The days are starting to get longer, so it being like 9:51 and still dusk. Thank God I'm not down in the desert, man, where it's like 110 degrees every day. And getting hotter every day. Here, Zach, you want this? That's what you want. You're over here being a beggar. Zach is getting my pizza bones. You don't want it? You just put it down? You better eat that. I'll turn you into a hat. There you go. Good girl. Oh, man. What a freaking stressful day. That, could have gone worse. So, it could have gone worse. And I'm just, like, incredibly grateful for you guys. Incredibly grateful for your help. For just letting me vent on the YouTube. For listening. Everyone that was like, Belt, like so many comments, like, I'm not a mechanic, dude. I'm really not a mechanic. I can swap parts. I just don't know if I should. Like, because I don't diagnose things. But I could swap a part. I just don't know why I'm doing that unless somebody else tells me that's the part that needs to get swapped. So when this happened, I was like, it's broken. The whole thing's broken. Just throw it away. And I called Dave Lowe, and Dave was like, is it the belt? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll go look. And, yep, didn't have a belt on there. And then all the comments came in on my YouTube short that was like, belt. It's probably your belt. Belt, serpentine belt. It's like, sure as shit. Y'all are right. It was the belt. It was the belt. It's funny, too, because if I don't have a belt on, my pants fall down. So, my RV's pants fell down today out on the interstate, and everyone saw it. And I figured it was just the coolant. I don't know, like, I was super confused because I had lost that cap for the coolant. So I figured I'd lost all my coolant, and it got really hot. But I couldn't figure out why I didn't have any power steering. I was like, why the fuck don't I have power steering? That doesn't even make sense in my brain. So I went into town, and I got a cap for it, and it's not even the right cap. It's a cap that works, it's just not the right one, so that's the next thing I'm going to have to tackle is get the right cap, and I'm not too far from Boise, so I think tomorrow I'm going to get to Boise, and I'm going to get a cap, the right cap for it, but I might just continue on and get to Oregon and do it there. I talked to the mechanic about the cap, and he's like, oh, that'll be fine for a while, you know, like, that should be just fine. So, that's where I'm at with that. I thought it was the cap, and it ended up being the belt, and now I know better. Now I know it's, you know, if that ever happens again, like, is the belt? That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be you guys. I'm gonna be the guy that says that. Because I'm gonna act like I know what I'm talking about. There's 13 of y'all in here, at least that's what it's telling me. No one's really chatting. No one's really chatting. What's wrong, you guys? You don't like me? You don't want to say hi? Hopefully you're over there giving Daniel a good review on his business. I posted the link. That is a mechanic who bailed me out of all this. And he, I'm just hoping that you guys give him 5 stars because he deserves it. And like I said, his business just started, like a couple of months ago. And yeah, I've given him 5 stars on 2 different accounts of mine. I'm gonna do it on a 3rd one too. He's gonna get so many 5-star reviews for me. I've got like 4 or 5 Google accounts, and he's getting 5 stars on all of them. His neighbor gave him 1 star because some tow truck showed up in the middle of the night. How rude. 16 people in here, 8 likes. Don't forget to smash that like button. Hit the like button if you're happy that I'm not on the side of the interstate and I'm sitting here pretty at this truck stop. All because of this one mechanic that decided to come out, dude. He was quick on the Johnny on the spot. Once we got off the phone, he ran to the parts store, got the part, and he was 20 minutes out. He drove 20 minutes and took him like 30 minutes, slapped the belt on there, and then we just, had a cigarette together. And he told me like he just started his business a couple of months ago and is hoping to get it off the ground. And he deserves to. He deserves every freaking star that I can give him. So I've given him 5 stars on 3 different Google accounts of mine already, and I'm gonna do it again on a 4th one. I've got so many Google accounts over the years, and I have them all loaded into this phone. So he's getting all the stars right now. All the stars. And if you guys want to give him a 5 star, I left the link for his Google, it's Google Maps, but you can totally give him a review on Google Maps, and it'll go to his business. But here's another one. I think this is like what, 15 stars? Maybe 20 stars I've given him so far. I'm giving him all the stars. Every star I can find, I'm doing it. I might make a new Google account just to give him another star. There we go. Shit, yeah. Okay, so now I've got... Dude, I can't believe his neighbor 1-starred him. What a bitch. Didn't even use his services, but gave him 1 star because of a tow truck that went in the middle of the night. Anyways. Now he had a 3 rating. Now he's got a 4.4. I'm going to try to get that as high as I can. I might make a couple of more accounts tomorrow. But, like I said, he's just an honest mechanic, which is rare. Dude showed up. He could have charged me $400 for the work that he did. And I know that because that's what all the other mechanics quoted me, and that was just for them to show up. That didn't include the part, and that didn't include the time it takes for them to install it. It was just $400 an hour, and they were at least 30 minutes out, so it would have been 30 there, 30 back. The tow truck was even more expensive. Thankfully, I didn't have to do that. Sapphire says, we got him up to 4.6 so far. Shit, yeah, dude. That's cool. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, Daniel, he deserves every bit of that. Hey, what's up, Dale? Long time no see. Hello from Seligman, Arizona. I know Seligman very well. Did you of course you know this. I was about to ask you, did you know about Seligman? Did you know that town is the town that the movie Cars was modeled after, was Seligman, Arizona. I knew some people that got a house out there, some property out in Seligman, and I was I helped them like level their house because they just had it like plopped on the ground, and so we had to. It was like one of those ones like semi trucks deliver. Anyways, yeah, I helped him level his house out and everything out there in Seligman. Yeah, of course you do. Just gave him 5 stars and great review. Thank you so much, Sapphire. I gave him 5 stars on like 4 or 5 different Google accounts that I have. So, yeah, he went from 3 stars to 4.6, and like I said, he deserves it because I honestly, like, I've dealt with some mechanics before, and obviously they're out to make some money. But this guy was like, first of all, he showed up in a sedan with like a toolbox, like a handheld toolbox, like a suitcase toolbox or whatever, and just went to work. Didn't waste any time. He's like, what's the easiest way to get to it? And I'm like, either under the bed or underneath. And he's like, let me get underneath, and just went right under there. Had the belt, threw that on, looked at the diagram, and he's like, okay, and slapped it on. Took him like 20, 30 minutes. And then we fired it up, and man, I had power steering again. It wasn't overheating anymore. I'm just so relieved that could have gone way worse. With losing power steering, the overheating, I could have wrecked. I could have blown the motor because it got so hot. It could have just been bad, and it wasn't. If that was going to happen, he suspects that the belt that was on there before was dry rotted from sitting for so long. And I thought that I had lost all my coolant because I had lost the cap. At the last spot that I stopped, I had lost the coolant cap. I filled it up and forgot to fucking put the cap back on. And I thought that was the problem, but I don't think it was now. Because this morning when I woke up and I fired up the motor, I could hear something in there squeaking. I could hear squeaking in there, and it was like with the motor. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that was the belt that was squeaking. I think it was squeaking, and I think it was going, and it just went at that moment. And I was in a construction zone. I was at the end of a construction zone. Thank God it was the end of the construction zone. Because 50 feet back, I wouldn't have been able to pull over. Like, I was in, like, the construction had me go into the other lane, and both north and southbound traffic was on the same lane, and there was no shoulder, there was nowhere to pull over, and it was right at the end of that I lost power steering. And I mean, that could have been way worse too. I might have had to drive it for another like 2 miles with it overheating before I was able to pull over, and that didn't happen. If that was going to happen, it went about as good as it could have gone, and I'm super grateful for that. Critter says, I just gave him another 5 stars. You guys are rock stars, man. I think he's probably asleep. I texted him when I got here to this truck stop. I'd already paid him $270, and I sent him another $30. It was like, hey, go have a beer on me. Here's your tip, man. I appreciate it. You deserve every penny. And he didn't respond, so I'm assuming he's probably in bed. He was a middle-aged dude, maybe a little older than me, maybe like 45 or so. So he might be in bed already. But I sent him another $30, and I was like, go have a beer on me, dude. You deserve it. And I did tell him I had a YouTube, and I might, have you guys give him 5 stars. So I'm really hoping some of you do. What, Zag? What do you need? You're just staring at me. Come here. No? Come here. You want to say hi to everyone? Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Ah, there she is. There's the good girl. There's the good girl. There's the good... Oh, you're just after my pizza? Don't be a bad beggar. Go on. Go lay down. Go lay down. You're getting on my pizza. That's all she wanted. She didn't want Zig love. She wanted pizza. Go lay down. Go on. Pest. Yeah, bad beggar. He's drinking those beers. I sure hope so. I should go get a beer. I don't drink beer very often, but I'm still like coming down off the adrenaline rush of breaking down. That was a little scary, man. Like I said, but it all worked out. It worked out. Miles of smiles. We're good. And I was able to make it another couple hours down the road. Yeah, now he's got 11 reviews. He went from a 3-star to 4.6, dude. That's what's up. That's so cool. Carol gave him 5 stars. Sapphire, there you are. Yeah, dude, you guys are rad. I appreciate you guys doing that. I appreciate you guys going and giving him all the stars. He deserves them. And fuck that neighbor. That he got a neighbor that gave him 1 star because of the noise in the middle of the night. And he's like, this isn't a mechanic shop. I'm a mobile business. So grateful that I'm not on the side of the road tonight, with like semi trucks screaming past me, and I was half expecting a cop to knock on the door tonight too. Somebody had mentioned that, and I was definitely worried about it, and that didn't happen either. So it's just a win all the way around. Everyone's winning. What a great day. Could have been worse day, but it wasn't. It's a good day. A good day with a speed bump. Still a good day. Just had a speed bump. I should be much farther down the road. I should be much closer to Oregon. I figured I'd be in Boise by the end of the day, and I'm a couple hours still from Boise. So when I get off of here, I'm gonna take the dogs for a walk, and then I'm gonna get a truck stop shower. Raise your hand if you've ever had a truck stop shower in America. I know some of you aren't in America, that's why I said that, but raise your hand if you ever had a truck stop shower. I know if Sharon was here, she'd be raising her hand. She drives truck for a living. I gotta be honest with you. They're nice, man. Truck stop showers aren't that bad. They've got, it's a private room, there's no time limit. My only bitch about truck stop showers is they range from like 15 to 20 bucks. They can be a little expensive. Sorry, either I just heard fireworks or gunshots, but yeah, they can be a little expensive, but man, to just sit in the water and not worry about like hot water, not worry about water, and just be able to sit there for like an hour if I want to is freaking awesome. That's gotta be fireworks. Really hoping that's fireworks. In fact, Buddy gets freaked out with fireworks. He gets scared, so he can't hear them because he's deaf, but if they are loud enough, he'll hear them, and he'll just start trembling and shaking, and like he doesn't run away because he's so old he can barely walk, but he just starts shaking. So I got to sit down with him and like give him love and calm him down. He really likes being touched when he's stressed out. So hopefully we can get out of, I don't want to be near a city for 4th of July because Buddy and I have similar reactions to fireworks. So I'm hoping that maybe by 4th of July, I'm going to head towards out into the like Eastern Oregon desert and then wait out all the explosions, and then I'll go into town. But man, what a day. What a day. Not sure why Carol's name came up, but that was me. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Glad to see you're off the side of the road. Thanks, Scattered. I am glad to see I'm off the side of the road too, man. That was super stressful. I mean, if this was just like the minivan, I would be less stressed because it's cheaper to fix a minivan than it is to fix a stretch limousine minivan. But it is what it is. I didn't know what to do, and this guy just showed up. I mean, I've never had a mechanic that helpful and that cheap. Like I said, he could have charged me easily another $130 for the work that he did, and he even told me that. He was like, I could charge more for this, but it just doesn't seem fair. And I'm like, all right. So I gave him. When I got here, I sent him another $30 as a tip, and was like, "Go have a beer, bro." Let me. I'm looking forward to hitting him up tomorrow and being like, "Hey, you're no longer 3 stars on Google. You're 4.6." He's had this business for 2 months, and like I said, he deserves every star I can give him. But yeah, I'm gonna smoke the cigarette, and then I'm gonna take the dogs out, and then go get a truck stop shower. So none of you have had a truck stop shower before, but why would you? You have your own shower. Must be nice. You got your own shower, aren't you bougie? Heck yeah, dude. He went from 3 stars to 4.6. He only had 2 reviews. One was a 5-star, one was a 1-star because of his neighbor. So now he's got 11 reviews. You guys are rad. You guys are so awesome. He's got 11 reviews now, and they're all 5 stars except for his neighbor. What a rock star, dude. I'm so happy for him. I hope he's so successful. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Yeah. I got this fan on me here. I'll show you. It's a rechargeable fan from Amazon. Recharges in no. Oh, you can see it in the mirror. What? Recharges in no time, and it'll run all night on low. Anyways, it'll run all night. And I usually have it up there while I'm driving because it gets pretty warm in here, and there's no air conditioning. The AC probably needs to be like recharged or whatever. But yay! I'm not broke down no more, bro. That's so cool. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy I could cry. God, I look like crap though. Like I just need to shower. I've got stress sweat. Like do any of you sweat when you stress out? I don't know if it's because of Iraq and how like 130 degrees and really stressful situations, but now when I get stressed out, my body just starts like fucking pouring sweat, dude. And yeah, I feel super grody because of it right now. I feel grody. Stress grody. But yeah, we got her all fixed up. I'll be on the road. I think I'm gonna hang out here tonight, and then tomorrow night I'll probably spend the day here at this truck stop, because before I hit the road again, I would really like to have roadside assistance. And I paid for roadside assistance today, and it takes 2 days for it to kick in. So if I hang out tomorrow, and then the next day, it won't be kicked in yet, but by the end of the day, it should be. So I'll hit the road the next day, and if anything happens, all I gotta do is wait for that evening before the policy starts. I paid for the entire year, so I'm good for a year. So yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be a blessing. You're always welcome to borrow our shower, brother. Hell yeah, dude. Mail it to me. Mail me your shower. I'll throw it in here and I'll bring it with me. What are you going to use, though? You're so far away. I would use your shower, but you're in Indiana. And I'm in Idaho, but I mean, we're basically neighbors because the states we're in start with an I. I love that this guy went from 3 stars to 4.6 in an afternoon. That's so cool. That's rad. The kitchen sink. Oh yeah, that's what you're gonna use, the kitchen sink. I've definitely done that before. Got me a bird bath and a kitchen sink. I'm just honestly, right now, I'm grateful that the RV's fixed. I'm grateful it wasn't too bad of a repair, and I'm extremely grateful that I got a spot here at this RV park, at this truck stop. because when I pulled in the first time there was no spaces, and when I came back around the second time, there was one space left and I snatched it. I know truckers don't really like it when RVers park in the truck stop spots, but I don't care. This is a big vehicle. There's nowhere else for me to park. And, you know, we've got to rest too. Dude, I'd be grateful for your kitchen sink even, because it's just like hot water comes out and just keeps coming out and keeps coming out. And until you tell it not to, it just keeps coming out. I think that's rad, man. I haven't actually turned on the hot water heater in this thing yet, because in my last RV, the hot water heater took an absolute ton of propane. And I'm running a little low on propane. I'm using the onboard tank right now of propane. There was still some left, and it's running the fridge. And I don't want to use it all up on anything else. I want the fridge to last for this whole trip, because I have a 5-gallon tank down here that will run the fridge. I attach it to the RV. And I don't want to have that thing hooked up while I'm at truck stops and shit. It just looks tacky to have your propane tank out there. Plus, in the middle of the night, someone can come and snatch your propane. So I'm using the onboard tank. But the onboard tank, if you caught my last video, the nozzle to fill it up, apparently where I went last time to fill it up, their nozzle didn't fit it. And he said that I'd have to replace the nozzle on the onboard tank, and I haven't done that yet. So I don't know if another spot will have like an adapter so that they can fill the tank that I have, but it's an old school tank, and I guess the propane nozzles changed at some point. And so I'm using the 5-gallon, but there was still some propane left over in the onboard tank that I'm using to run the fridge until it runs out, and I'm hoping it's enough to get me at least to Oregon, you know, get to where I'm going. But I think I've decided, once this RV gets back down to California, and it will get to California, I'm not leaving this thing on the side of the road. Once it gets down there, though, in the summer, and if Buddy is passed by that point, in the summer I'm going to store the RV and use the van to get around. I think that'll be less stressful. You know what I mean? Like, it's $100 a month to store the RV. I've already talked to a friend. I have a friend that does the same thing. When they get back down south, they grab their RV out of storage to live in it in the winter, and then they store it in the summer and they hit the road. And I think that's what I'm gonna start doing too. So $100 a month to store the RV, that's not too bad. And that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. It's dark now. Dusk is over. Dusk is over. And you guys got me for another 12 minutes. Gonna do a quick hour-long live stream and then take the dogs out. Just super grateful today, you guys. I'm just over the moon. This could have been so much worse. I've also got to give Buddy his meds. Buddy, I have to give him medication twice a day. Give him some in the morning and some at night. And, yeah, that's something else. I'm just talking to myself at this point, but I gotta give Buddy his meds after we go potty. Can you go potty? Yeah, give me 10 minutes, Zag, and I'll take you out. Last time I took you out, you didn't even go. You don't need to go. You're just staring at the table. Like, you want a treat? Yeah, that's what you want. You want a treat. Let me give you a treat. Let me give Zag a treat. I've got these, I got these beef sticks that I give the dogs. Zag really likes them. Is this what you want? Up, up. Good girl. Here you go, buddy. Good boy. He's like, gobbles that shit down. These almost look like people sticks. You know what I mean? Like, these look like the beef jerky sticks that you'd get at the gas station. And I've been tempted. Oh, they smell so much worse, though. I'm not eating that. I don't know how you guys do it. Oh, they actually smells like dog food. Try a bite. No, I was considering it, but until I smelled it, and I was like, oh, maybe not. It actually smells like dog food. It doesn't smell like what you buy at the gas station. And not to mention those beef sticks that you get at the gas station. I think those are gross. So the dog food version of that, way worse. Melinda says, God, I really need glasses. Melinda says, I'm glad you're not stuck on the side of the road. Me too. Me too. And I think I owe a lot of that to you guys. The RV is fixed. Yes, the RV is fixed, Jay. I know you're just tuning in. You got me for another 10 minutes before I take off, but the RV is fixed. I did get a mechanic to come out. I'll just retell you the story. Broke down the side of the road. It ended up being the serpentine belt. Had a mechanic come out, and it took him like 30 minutes to slap the serpentine belt on. And we've been talking about it most of the live stream. Basically, he started his mobile mechanic business 2 months ago and had 2 reviews. One of them was 5 stars from one of his clients. The other one was 1 star from his neighbor. And his neighbor just complained that a tow truck showed up in the middle of the night. And he was like, I didn't know that tow truck was coming. Nobody called me and said they were dropping off a vehicle. But a tow truck came, and his neighbor gave him a 1-star review. So he had 3 stars. And now he's got 4.7 stars because of you guys. I left if you scroll up on the chat, I put a link to his Google Maps, thing, and you can go give him a review too if you want to. And if you want to have a reason to give him a review, I called a ton of mechanics. And the cheapest one I found was $400 just to show up. That didn't include the part, that didn't include the work it would have taken him to slap the part on there. This guy showed up with the part in hand, slapped it on there in it was like 20 minutes, but 30 minutes. And then he was done. And he only charged me $270. So I sent him the $270 via Cashapp. And then when I got here to the truck stop a couple hours later, I sent him another $30 as a tip to say thanks, and go have a beer on me. And then I gave him a review, and now he went from 3 stars because he had 2 reviews. Now he's got 12 reviews, and he's at 4.7. So Fields Mobile Mechanic in Pocatello, Idaho. Go give him a review. 5-star that motherfucker, because he deserves it. He didn't overcharge me. He was honest. He was quick, and he made this situation that could have been incredibly stressful way less stressful. So I'm super stoked. Just left him a review and said, awesome mechanic. You see it. I gave him 5 stars. Thank you, Melinda. Thanks, Jay. I'm sure Daniel thanks you too. I'm so stoked that you guys are supporting him also. I told him I had a YouTube channel, and I was like, I'll see if they'll give you 5 stars. I'll see if any of them do that. Maybe we can get you higher than 3 stars. And now he's at 4.7, and he deserves every freaking star we can give him. So I'm going to be leaving his information. I recorded some video. I've basically been filming from where I started and going to Oregon. So I'll be compiling, once I get to Oregon, and they compile that into a video, and I'll throw his information in there, because I'm really hoping that he gets more reviews. And I'll even throw his Cash App in there too, just in case anyone decides they want to throw him a tip on my behalf. You don't have to. But, I mean, if you wanted to, in lieu of donating to me, if you wanted to send him 5, 10, 15 bucks, 20 bucks or whatever, that'd be rad. But at the very least, like I said, he started his business 2 months ago. Most honest mobile mechanic too. Most honest mobile mechanic I've ever dealt with. Could have charged an arm and a leg. He was sitting there on the side of the interstate doing the work. And yeah. Yeah, 4.7, 13 reviews. You guys are so rad. That's what's up. That's what's up. The Zig Army coming at you, bro. That's rad. Super stoked about it. But after I get off this live stream, I gotta take the dogs out to let them go potty, and then And then I'm gonna go get me a truck stop shower, bro. I don't know. I was talking about this earlier. I don't know if any of you have ever had a truck stop shower before, but they're worth it if you live on the road like us. It's like $20 for a shower, which is kind of expensive, if you ask me. But you know, they come in right behind you, clean it all up, put new towels out. You got a bathroom in there. You know, it's a locking door. You get a private room, and no time limit. There's so many showers I've been to that have time limits. This one doesn't have a time limit. Truck stops. So, yeah, I need one. I took one yesterday. I'm gonna take another one today because I've been just stress sweating all day, and I think dude, when I get stressed out, I sweat so much. It could be cold, and I'll just start pouring sweat. And I think that it has a lot to do with Iraq. I think my body was just like, oh, when you're stressed out, you need to sweat. Because in Iraq, that's what you did. And so from now on, whenever you get stressed out, you're just going to sweat. So I've been dripping sweat all day. Plus, it was kind of hot. It was like 85 degrees today. And then in the RV, it's hotter than that. But that's okay. I'll get a shower today. And tomorrow, I'm going to hang out at the truck stop all day. And then the next day I'll get on the road again, because the next day is when I got Good Sam now. I paid for Good Sam today. It takes 48 hours to kick in. So the day after tomorrow, I'll have roadside assistance and I'll hit the road again. That's the plan. That's the plan, man. Hell yeah. Oh man, what a day. What a day. Alright, I'm gonna go take the dogs out, you guys. I appreciate everyone. Big shout out to Sharon for the $200 donation. Big shout out to Daniel for the $100 donation. Every penny of that went straight to the mechanic. Plus, we got him from 3 stars to 4.7 stars. Anyone watching this after the fact, I will post his information in the comments. So that way, if you're watching after the fact, if you can't find the live chat, then you'll be able to go give him 5 stars if you want to. Jay just asked, can you shower in the RV? Yeah, I could shower in the RV. Currently, the RV's out of fresh water. Ran out of fresh water right before I hit the road. I haven't had a chance to fill it up yet. I do have water jugs I'm drinking on and whatnot. And also, I haven't turned on the hot water heater yet in this thing because it drinks so much propane. Hot water heater is probably the biggest propane draw that I have, and I genuinely don't even know if it works. So I could take a shower in this thing. I just haven't yet. So you know, I don't mind spending the $20 on a shower at the truck stop. It's a bit pricey, so if anyone wants to sponsor a shower, that's cool. It's a bit pricey, but it's worth it after a day like today, man. It'll be how I decompress. It'll be how I decompress after the day I've had. So but I gotta be honest with you, like, just being able to vent to you guys on YouTube, and everyone that commented on my YouTube short when I was like, oh, I'm broke down, everyone that said that it asked if it was a serpentine belt, you guys were spot on. Yeah, you guys were absolutely spot on. It was a serpentine belt. In the future, if that ever happens again, like, let's hope it doesn't. I got a brand new belt on there now. Shouldn't happen again. But if it does, I'll know what's up. I'll know what that is. So I gotta take the dogs out. Zag's been begging to go out for the last hour that I've been on here, and I've just been feeding her pizza bones. So I'm gonna take the dogs out and go get a shower. I appreciate you guys, as always. Miles of smiles. I'll see you next time.